Hey guys, welcome to the Money Mix podcast number 3. I'm Al. I'm with Stan again. Thank you guys for joining us. We're gonna right away get into the first topic of the news, and of course, Tucker Carlson is out of Fox News. He was fired. We still don't know for sure why the reason is that he was fired. There's all of these assumptions. Some people think it was because of the Dominion settlement and all the texts that were released about him. But number one question here is how will this affect Fox News, and was this a good idea for them to do this or not? So, what do you
Okay.
think, Sam?
Okay. Wait a second. But
I'm waiting.
let. Okay. Good. Thank God.
Mhm.
Well. Let me ask you why you think he got fired? Your opinion.
Honestly, I genuinely don't know the answer to that question.
Okay.
I think it probably has to do with text that were released about the stuff that he was saying, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was
Okay.
because of
Who?
the Dominion podcast. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Who do you think released the text?
Oh no. The texts were released because of the Dominion lawsuit for defamation. They were able to get those texts
Okay.
that he sent, and they were trying to prove that they knew all along that their company uh, was legitimate, and
Okay.
they
So
basically were using that.
so
Yeah.
okay. So Dominion is a company, right?
Yes, it's a company that was used uh, for for voting in the 2020 election.
And okay. So this somehow ties to Tucker Carlson. How?
Tucker Carlson, after the 2020 election, a lot of people on the right were saying that the these electric voting companies, or this particular voting company, might have had a hand in somehow Trump losing the election, and they were trying to depict Dominion in a light that they didn't like, and they sued Fox News for defamation. They technically didn't win, but they did get a
Okay.
700 something $1 million settlement with Fox
Okay,
News.
okay, okay. And so how did Tucker Carlson participate in the how do you get involved in the lawsuit, I guess? How is he affected by it? That
Well,
that that's the
he
thing.
wasn't necessarily affected. Well, I mean, unless he was fired because of it. But basically, he was one of the biggest voices, if not the biggest voice, calling out Dominion and saying how, well, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he
Right.
basically was alluding to that Dominion was potentially the reason how there was no paper track or paper trail
Right.
of people voting. So technically, you could make up whatever you want. And that's basically he was alluding to that
Oh,
there was a fix that was put in.
okay. So with the text messages that he sent to whom? Who did he send the text messages to?
That is unclear. They didn't share who, but it seemed like it might have been people within Fox News, but it might have been not Fox News necessarily.
So by him sending text messages, did it contradict the point of view that he had on this whole scandal? Is that why he's getting fired? That I'm like trying to understand like what he would actually have written in the text messages to go against Fox News. You know what I mean? You know what I'm
Yeah, I mean, he did say certain things about covering whether it was Donald Trump or he alluded to in his text, if I remember correctly, he alluded to that he they basically knew that the election was fine,
saying?
but they needed to cover it because of Donald Trump or something along those lines.
Okay.
And basically, Dominion was trying to use that in their case to prove defamation. That Fox News was aware of this. I'm
Uh,
not sure if they really singled him out because he's the biggest voice, or they
right.
singled him out because he's the only voice that was saying this. So
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure of that.
Okay, so what you're saying is that Dominion won the lawsuit against Fox News,
No,
and
they did not win.
oh, did
Uh,
they did not?
there was a settlement. They settled. So
Okay, okay, fine.
Fox News settled. Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Technically, Fox News pretty much is really looking bad at this moment, and from my assessment, then Tucker Carlson is the voice head, right, of Fox News, and therefore they're blaming him for losing 700 plus million dollars, right?
Well,
So
again,
you know,
no one knows. I just want to make this clear. No one knows that for sure he was fired because of that.
right,
That's what people
right,
are alluding to. That's what they think is going to happen, or that's why it
right.
happened.
Well, I
But
mean,
we
it
can't
makes
know
sense.
for sure.
I mean, okay, but it clearly makes sense. And
Sure.
unless he abused somebody there, right, which they're not coming out
No.
talking about that yet. I mean, they may, they may come out and say that, oh no, it's not because of that, it's because of this. He touched somebody unappropriately, and
Inappropriate, yeah.
yeah, inappropriately, and that's the reason why we're getting rid of him. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a huge loss financially. It's a huge loss, and wherever he goes, that's where the base will go as well.
Well, let
Um,
me ask you though. Okay.
yeah.
Before you get too far on that, like if you remember Bill O'Reilly before, he was on Fox News before Tucker in the same time slot. They basically replaced Tucker with him. Tucker before having that time slot wasn't really a big name in on Fox News or anywhere really. He was like people were aware of him, but he wasn't that big.
Right.
And then once he took over this time slot, that's when the show really became big. That's when he became big himself.
Right.
So a lot of people make the argument that it has nothing to do with the personality. It has everything to do with Fox News, and whoever you put in that time slot, they're going to do the same kind of numbers.
I don't think so.
You don't think
I
so?
mean, I almost feel like that's ridiculous statement, right? I mean, it's always about the person. It's always about the personality. It's always about how they actually carry themselves, how they project things. So you're
But why
telling,
do you think? But why do you think? If Bill O'Reilly and Tucker Carlson basically have the same kind of numbers, they did both fantastic when they were on Fox News, and they both had the same exact slot.
yeah,
And then
both
when
are
Bill
good.
O'Reilly was fired, people thought, "Oh, who's going to replace him? Who possibly could have the same ratings?"
Well,
Tucker Carlson came along, and he did the same.
yeah, but come on. I mean, if you put a monkey there, will people just watch the monkey? Come on, no, it's bullshit.
It's
No?
not a monkey, but I'm just saying if you put somebody competent in that place, and it seems like they just like meaning if they replace Tucker Carlson with somebody they already have, like it's like people are talking about some of the other men on Fox News to replace them. I think one name is Jesse Waters, and if they replace
Oh,
him,
that guy who used to work for Bill O'Reilly as a reporter, like he would send them out on missions and so something like that.
I honestly did not know about that, but yeah,
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm just saying, like, if they replace him, would do you think he wouldn't get the same numbers? Do you think like he just wouldn't
I
work?
don't know. I honestly, it really depends. Like, you can't really say that. Okay, look, we're gonna upgrade this model to a new model, and this model is gonna work out. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's gonna be the case, right? It really all because things change. Things always change, and people might actually go wherever Tucker Carlson goes, and if he has the same time slot, right, then no, it's not going to actually do well for Fox News. You know what I mean?
So,
So
so you think this is long term hurt for Fox News that they're not going to be able
I
to
mean,
replace Tucker Carlson and
no, that's not what I'm saying. But
okay.
maybe for a couple to a few years, that might be the case. It really just depends on um, whether Tucker Carlson can hold the audience that he has, right? If he's gonna go somewhere else, yeah, things change. Let me just put it this way: everything changes, right? As we all know, Bill Gates used to be the richest man, right? And I'm assuming, people thought at that moment, oh, he's going to be the richest man for the foreseeable future. Then it was the Mexican guy who owned telecoms. I don't know his name.
Right.
Then more recently, it's Elon Musk. So I mean, things change. We can't just say just because this time slot worked for Bill O'Reilly and Tucker that it will continue to do so. So I think that from my perspective, from a business point of view, Fox is gonna hurt. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a completely different point of view on this. I think that Fox News won't really see too much of a difference for them. Yes, in the short period, yes, like that time slot, whoever you put in it for the next maybe 6 months, it's probably not going to have the same numbers. But after that, people there are, at least in my opinion, I think people that watch Fox News are kind of used to watching Fox News. They'll just go back to watching Fox News. And you put somebody who's charismatic in that spot, I think they're going to do fantastic in it, because people are there at the end of the day for Fox News and not necessarily for the personalities. Just
Really,
because, just
really.
because if Bill O'Reilly, see, the thing is, people forget how popular Bill O'Reilly was. Bill O'Reilly was the guy on the news, not just Fox News, but on the news. He was the guy. He gets fired, and people are like, whoa, this is really going to be a big hit for Fox News. And it wasn't. He was gone. People didn't really follow him all that much. He's kind of irrelevant at this point, and Fox News is just as relevant as they've ever been. And
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Then to me, it's just kind of weird. You know what I mean? That's almost like saying, listen, this is the name, brand car, and we're coming out with the latest edition, and then the reviews are horrible, the car drives poorly, breaks down, but people continue to buy it. You know what I mean? That's almost like what you're trying to say is like, no matter who it is, as long as he does what they're telling him to do, then people are going to watch it. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. That's a very jaded perspective that I definitely didn't take. I meant it more like, for example, whoever is right now doing Good Morning America, right? Like very popular morning show. Whoever is doing The View constantly changes, and they're still there. They still function. Like those channels are really popular enough to function without any personality. Like The View has Whoopi Goldberg. If Whoopi Goldberg leaves, that show will still survive without her, because it did before she even got there.
wait
And
a
the same
second.
thing will happen on
Wait a
any
second.
other channel as well.
Wait a
Yeah, go
second.
ahead.
Is it
Go ahead.
Whippy or Whoopi?
Oh, did I say Whoopi?
I don't know. Is it Whippy or Whoopi? I'm
It's
confused.
Whoopi Goldberg. It's Whoopi.
Oh, Whoopi. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it
I
could
thought I
be.
thought that's what I said, but I might have said Whoopi.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Okay. Well, we have different perspectives on this. I say that it hurts Fox News. You say it doesn't.
I think in the short run it hurts them a little bit, but I think in the long run people are there just for Fox News. That's it.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I mean, honestly, that's sad, but hey, listen, whatever people like, they like, so it is
Yeah.
what it is. All
All
right.
right. Okay. So let's move on to the next thing. So the next thing is Bud Light, and the
Bud
whole thing that,
Light, or is that the company name, or is it just
yeah. But how do you say it's,
No, it's Budweiser. Wait a second.
yes. But
Not
Bud, okay,
Light.
okay. Bud Light was the one who actually partnered up with a trans influencer by the name of Dylan Mulvaney, and which prompted a whole right wing backlash.
So shocking, my friend. Come on.
Well, okay. The question is, well, should should businesses be in the game of politics? Because while some people might go like, this is not politics, this is clearly, you're still playing with
Wait.
politics, because, yeah, go ahead.
Well,
I'm
what
holding.
happened? Well, first
Okay,
explain.
okay, okay. Okay, so what happened was Bud Lights, but particularly Bud Light, they partnered with trans influencer named Dylan Mulvaney. And then what happened was you had a lot of right wing personalities go online and show their anger or their lack of support for Bud Light, and saying, hey, you choose this to do this, even knowing that we're your base. Screw this, screw Budweiser in general.
Wait a
And
second. Wait a
yeah,
second again. They're really manly man, and they should have showed their penises of disapproval for this. But why the hell are they drinking Bud Light? What? That makes no sense. They're angry about Bud Light? That makes no sense at all. Bud Light makes
you,
sense
you
when you have
okay,
a transgender in there. That makes completely sense. They're trying
okay.
to advertise to the feminine audience. So why are these
I
wingers
I think
angry.
I think you're completely out of the loop on this one. Okay,
Okay.
so their number one audience are people on the right. It just is. Whether you think it's wrong, whether you think it's right, whatever it is, I don't know if you for whatever reason have in your head that this was for people of the LGBTQ community. No, this is a product that's primarily by people who drink lots of beers. It's not like the most expensive beer, and it has been
Right.
kind of part of the culture
Wait a
in
second.
like small towns.
I thought Budweiser was the official beer of the taxi driver. No? No.
No, unfortunately.
Oh,
And by the way, taxi drivers are kind of long gone at this point. So now
okay.
it'd
Oh,
be,
well,
yeah.
they're sweaty, they're this and that. You know what I mean? So, they need to cool themselves down. Grab a Budweiser. You know what I mean?
Well, it seems like you're doing the advertising
The
for them now.
the cheap man's beer.
But now the question is, should this obviously affects, like, with the right wing backlash, this obviously affects the company. Their stock went down a little bit, but it's not the big part. The the preliminary numbers seems like people actually have started buying less Bud Light. Now
But
the
who
question
cares
comes in
about?
is,
I'm like trying to understand this. Who
or
cares
Budweiser,
about Bud Light?
For whatever reason, you're stuck on the Bud Light.
Yeah.
Just in general, Budweiser, people started buying less Budweiser. Okay.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, should any business be in some kind of I don't want to say controversial, but should politics and businesses mix?
Okay.
Like
Well.
like there are a lot of businesses doing that right
Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. That's a really good question, and the answer is very simple. Okay. But I want to go. I want to backtrack. I want to go
now.
back.
You don't want to answer it first?
I'll answer it. Don't worry. It's okay. It's not that big of a
Okay.
deal, right? But I want to backtrack to the whole point of the transgender person, right? Who is the spokesperson for Bud Light, right? I mean, that in itself, in my opinion, should not be considered as a political statement unless uh, they are bringing up political topics, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I disagree with you there,
you
but yeah,
disagree?
go ahead.
Okay, okay, okay. That's fine. That's fine. So then my answer to the question is really simple. Like companies should always stay neutral, right?
Yep.
Unless, yet again, unless your base is like if your target audience are rednecks, then yeah, that makes complete sense, right? Or your target audience are, like poor people, fine. You know what I mean? Like that poor people are Democrats, and rednecks who are also poor, by the way, are Republicans. So, but what I would say is, I think it's really dumb to be politically biased. You know what I mean? So in
I
this case, if Fox News, yeah, if Bud is actually making a political statement that they are for transgender, and that's what they stand for, then yeah, they're definitely hurting their business, because a lot of the people that drink cheap beer, in my opinion, are on the red side. That's my opinion. I might
let
be
me
wrong.
I literally just okay. Anyways, okay. I agree that I think every company should be politically neutral. I think it's one of the dumbest things that we see currently right now with any company like trying to be, you know, politically correct instead of politically neutral, which means like when the whole thing happened with even like a person like Dave Chappelle, when the pro-trans people started attacking him for the trans jokes, and they started contacting any place that would, you know, have him and basically try to cancel him from any venue and performing in those venues.
They should be
Um,
thanking him. They should be thanking him, because nobody actually wants to talk about transgenders. You know what I mean? So
well,
that's,
no, I mean, I don't know. The news definitely covers transgender
yeah, the
issues
news.
quite often,
Yeah,
but
sure.
but the thing is, like, to me, like you said that Budweiser in this instance wasn't political by just having a trans person. I think that they were clearly making a political statement
Okay.
with
Also.
just by having she's
Okay.
this individual. She is one of the biggest spokesperson for trans people right now. Like if you're
Uh,
talking about the biggest people, the literally probably number one, number two people in the trans community who you
mhm,
could put a name and face to,
right.
Dylan Mulvaney is that person. So by
Okay.
having that person, and by the way, they were trying to their whole commercial with Dylan Mulvaney was about, hey, we want everybody. We're all inclusive Bud Light beer. That's who they were trying to sell it to.
Okay. What?
And
Wait. What's the problem with saying that we're all inclusive? You know what I mean. That to me. So what you're saying is that it's kind of equivalent to BLM, but it's not because BLM is literally saying Black Lives Matter. They're not talking about anybody else, but this one says that it's all inclusive. So
no,
if
no, 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 no. Hold on a second.
that's what it was, no.
Hold on a second. All inclusive is a key word. If you're on the right, and when you say all inclusive, it usually means non inclusive to those Hicks. And that's how they take it. They take it as like, oh, you don't care about us because we already have us. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to go for this other base, a base that we disagree with, that disagrees with us. So you're telling us to screw ourselves. And that's how they took
Okay.
it on the
Okay,
right.
okay, so okay, let's say that Pornhub, right,
Okay.
starts advertising, the transgender sex, right? So will
Okay.
will the right also get offended by that? I'm just trying to like understand that. Will they
Well,
also
I
say,
don't know. I don't know if that's a
"Oh,
very good analogy. I don't know.
oh,
It's like
we're
pick
boycotting Pornhub."
pick a company like Nike or something.
No,
Don't pick a company like Pornhub.
but let's just say, okay, fine. I know I'm not talking about pornography, but I'm just saying that if Pornhub, picks a spokesperson that is transgender, will, the right also
No, who's
say,
there's no real advocates on the right except they like the only advocates in terms of porn on the right would be people who are trying to just get rid of porn, like completely get rid of porn.
no,
No,
no, no.
like
I'm not saying,
there's no people on the right who are like,
wait,
no, what I want is straight porn between a man and a woman and another woman. It's like that's not a thing. So
no, no,
that's
I'm
what I'm
not.
saying. I don't think that analogy works in that
No, no,
like
no.
this
But I'm
case.
saying the average Joe. I'm talking about only the average Joe. I'm not talking about, whatever, who represents the average Joe. I'm talking about the average Joe. Would the average Joe say that, listen, oh, they have, a transgender mascot or something like that for Pornhub. I'm gonna stop watching Pornhub. Come on, really? Would they really
Again, it's just
Pornhub?
the analogy doesn't work for me. But like,
Okay.
yeah, like there might be some that will, but again, but I think that every porn site that I could like, if it's a big porn site, I would imagine that it would have trans videos as well. So I don't think anyone is like boycotting any venues going like, I can't believe they have trans porn here. It's so
Right.
I,
But the
right,
same thing,
but again,
with trans drinking. I mean,
okay,
who
okay, okay.
knows? I don't know.
let me
Maybe they
let me
don't
let
drink.
me let me give an example. If there's somebody who's who, let's say a company starts advertising with somebody who supports like, let me give you an example. uh, there were people that got mad at Tom Brady because, I'm sorry, not even Tom Brady, they got mad at the companies that were supporting Tom Brady because Tom Brady was supporting Trump, and they wanted to boycott Tom Brady. The problem is Tom Brady has a lot of fans, so that kind of is difficult. But they were trying to basically not cancel him, but definitely remove some of the endorsements he has because he was supporting Donald Trump.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Obviously, that's
Right,
ridiculous.
right, right. But I'm saying there are companies that will take a stance and go like, yeah, anyone that supports this person, we're not going to support them,
I mean,
and that's where it
that's
becomes
anti.
political.
But yet again, that doesn't matter. That's anti-freedom. You know what I mean? Like, so what you're saying
I
is,
understand. Yeah, go ahead.
right? No, no. What I'm saying is that if you really like look at it from a perspective, right? Like for example, like the right is like very upset that you have this transgender that is the spokesperson for Budweiser and all that stuff, right? It doesn't matter. right? If they can't just like attack Budweiser and say, listen, Budweiser, look, if you don't fire this person, right, or if you don't convert this person to a straight person and have a
No.
straight message, then we're like, you have to fire this person. You know what I
See,
mean? No,
okay,
you
okay.
know what I mean?
They're
That's
they're taking they're taking a different tack than usually people coming from the other side. So from the other side, they start basically attacking them and going like, "Hey, you need to do this, and we're gonna keep on sending you messages. We're gonna tweet at you. We're gonna create Facebook posts. We're gonna do all of this stuff to show our disagreement with you. Basically, hiring this person that we disagree with." Whereas here, this is the first time in a long time that the right actually went, "Okay, you know what? Screw this. We're not going to tell you what to do. What we are going to do is show that we don't want your product anymore." Because none of
correct.
them are coming out and going like, "You need to change." Like, at least I've never heard of anyone going like, "You need to change, you need to do something different." They're just basically going, "Screw that. We're against this. So fuck it. We're not buying the product."
Okay, so
That's
then what are they? That's fine. That's freedom. That's freedom of choice. If you don't like a product or you don't believe in their core values, then you pick something else. Okay, so what are they picking? Where are they going to? Right? Like,
well, no. There are definitely other beers.
okay, so where are they going? Well, where would you
I
think?
have no clue. I have like I genuinely don't know. I don't know what other beers, because I'm personally not even a beer drinker. But like there's other beers. There's a lot of other beers that they could choose from. It's not like
They go. They can't go to Dosaki's. That's more expensive. Um,
I think if you drink beer like regularly, I think you'll be able to find. I don't know why you're kind of stuck on what beer
I'm
is gonna go.
trying.
Okay,
Listen,
hold on. Let's get back, because I feel like we already went on such a kind of a thing. Now we're talking about what beers they might go to. Let's
yeah.
let's talk. Okay, the question which we literally left from the beginning. Will this affect? Do you think that this will have a long-term effect for Bud Light in a positive, negative way? Basically.
I think that once this whole thing blows over, like in pornography, um, what I'm trying to say is that sorry about that. Oh, it just came to my mind. I think that these guys will go back again. I mean, they like
Wait,
cheap
wait,
beer.
wait, wait. What is that? Oh, you mean the people that left? They'll come back, right? That's what
They'll
you're saying.
come back. They'll come back. They like cheap beer. They like the way it tastes. They do not know quality beer. They can't afford it, and they don't know where to buy it. I mean, there's
Oh,
only
okay. I have no clue where you're getting any of that stuff. They can't afford it. Okay, if you're buying 16 like if you're buying beer, you're not gonna be like, "Oh, well, this one is $1 more. I can't buy this beer." No, come on.
I don't I
Like
don't think it's a dollar more, but I probably say it's like for good quality beer, it's going to be like a good $5 more.
oh, no. You're thinking like a European beer or an Asian beer particularly. But like there's a lot of beers that you like that cost very similarly to Budweiser. So I
Yeah,
don't think I don't think that that's a problem.
they'll never go to a European brand or an Asian brand. They're racist, man. They're racist.
What?
They're racist.
You're everyone who drinks Budweiser is racist. What are you talking about?
No, not everybody, but I'm just saying these people who want to boycott Budweiser.
What does race have to do? I have
I
no
don't
clue where you're
know.
getting. Like, what does race have to do with any of this?
Ask them. I don't know. They're
But they're
on.
not. You're based because people drink Budweiser are racist because
No,
they're not supporting
no.
Devin Mulaney. Like,
If if they are against transgenders, I am almost certain that they are racist. That's just the way it is.
what?
Yes, it's a
That
known
is so
fact.
absurd. I have no clue what you're talking about. That
No,
is
but
so
that's a
absurd.
known fact. That's a known fact. That's a known fact. All right.
It's not. It's not known, nor is it a fact. I have
Well,
no clue what you're talking about.
I care to disagree.
Okay, all right, okay. Anyways, I'd say this. I think this actually does have a long-term effect for Bud
Really?
Light. I don't think it's a short-term. I think it's a long-term effect. I think that they're going to unfortunately see their sales slump for a while. They will probably try to fix this. I know that they tried to create a new commercial showing an all-American commercial instead of like anything else, with a horse basically running through America.
Wait. So they went that route of eliminating people because if they don't put a black, a white, an Asian, then they will be racist. So they just had animal running through. Okay, I got it.
Basically, it's the freedom horse. Basically,
The freedom
it,
horse.
it,
Oh
it
my.
has yeah, it has nothing to do with that. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
color was the horse?
brown. I think just regular normal horse. Yeah.
Thank God it wasn't white. Oh my God, that
Well,
was,
you can't if it's black or white or anything
yeah.
else
Yeah.
like a brown horse is just a regular standard horse. So
No, but
eh,
Mexicans are very happy.
okay, all right.
No, no,
I,
I'll
I,
be happy. A brown horse, you
I
know.
yeah. Brown horse, and all the Mexicans go like, "Oh, great, we're represented now."
Hey, you never know.
No,
They
we
might switch. They might switch from Corona to Budweiser now. Hey, but they might. Hey, you never know that maybe that's what they're going for a new, base.
maybe you might be right. I have no clue.
They'll call Orale Budweiser.
Right.
You don't think so? Hey, I would change it to.
No, right now, Budweiser seems like they're really trying to keep their base, because they understand that
All right.
if they lose their base, they're a multi-billion-dollar company. They lose their base, they're screwed, and that's basically what they're trying to show. The person that started this ad campaign in general, this woman, she's on leave right now. So whether they're firing her or not, I don't know. But
Wait a second. Wait a second. That's sexist, racist, and gender-ish, whatever you want to call it.
that's sexist. You already said sexist.
Well, whatever. That's ridiculous. Honestly, that is ridiculous. They're blaming it on one person when when they're all gathered around the table and they
Well,
decide.
right now, okay. Right now, they're not blaming her. Right now,
Well,
what they're saying is she took a leave. She took a leave. So right now,
uh,
whether it's true or not, whether they're telling her to leave, we don't know. But that's basically she right now took a leave of absence,
yeah.
and we'll
Yeah.
see whether she's going to quit or she's going to be fired. We don't know. But
Wow.
anyways, let's move on from this, and hopefully the next topic isn't anything to do with race or anything. But maybe I don't know. Maybe you'll find it. Okay. So next topic is okay. So Tesla right now is doing something very weird, and it's just doesn't fully make sense. Or maybe it does. Maybe to you it does. So Tesla right now has lowered the prices and keeps on lowering the price of their vehicle. So the price of their cheapest model right now is 39,000, basically $40,000. Okay, they lowered their price by $3,000 just last week. Okay, the the thing is, everybody was waiting for the lease price to be lowered as well.
Well, are you
So
sure everybody or just you?
I think it's not waiting, but it's the expectation. So the price of the Model 3 lease at that point, when it was $3,000 more, was $350 per month for the basic lease. Then they decreased the price, so you would think that the price of the lease would go down as well. But instead, as soon as they did that, they actually raised the price of the lease by $50. So at first you might be thinking, well, there's a mistake. If you lower the price of the car, shouldn't the lease price of the car also go down? So
Right. Right.
just yesterday, they actually increased the price of the lease by $20 more. So the price of the car is actually $3,000 less, but you're paying $70 more for the same exact car for the lease. Why
Right.
do you think that is? Do you think this is a plan by them to purposely do this, or do you think this is just other motives or other reasons for that?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple to understand why they're actually doing it, right? I mean, it's like in accounting, you take it from one end and then you put it onto the other end, right? So they know that a lot of people have started to lease cars as opposed to purchase cars, so therefore they're making it up on the end of the lease. So that's why it's actually a very, very clever tactic, in my opinion. Very smart, because people probably don't know what the actual fair value of the lease is, as opposed to a purchase. All you do is you take the price, you add the taxes to it, registration, right? and the interest rate, and then you just divide it by the term, right? So if it's like 36 months or 48 months, and so forth, right? And that's how you calculate the price. So, but that's not how it's calculated through a lease. So people don't actually know the fair value of the lease. So they went ahead and they added $70 to. They're very smart, but to the leasee, it's actually not as good of a deal. So that's the way I looked at it.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm thinking that there might be a particular reason why they're doing this, and I think it's because they're really cranking out these cars, the Model 3s. Well, just in general, the Teslas, they're making way more of them now, and I think their inventory is really exploding. And I think that what they want is they want to be able to sell more cars than to lease them. I think that if they could just get like lower their inventory where it's not coming back in 2 or 3 years, because that's not what they want either. They don't want to be
Okay.
sitting with a lot of uh used Teslas. And this way, if you buy it, you're most likely gonna like resell it yourself maybe eventually.
No,
So
but think about what you could do, right? You can actually, like, if you lease these cars, right? You know, you get it back in like 3 years, right? And then after the 3 year period, you don't know what to do with it, right?
no, 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 no. Actually, you probably don't know this.
Okay.
With Tesla, if you lease it, they don't allow you, at least in the United States, they don't allow you to actually buy it afterwards.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Mhm.
That's interesting. I'm curious why that's the case. Do you know why?
I don't, because I
Oh,
thought it was overall, but I know in other countries they don't have that. Like in Europe, you could actually buy it after the lease. So I don't know why they specifically. It it might be due to uh, them not having a big inventory, and they might change that for US because it seems like the inventory is rising. So they
uh,
might change that where you can buy it if you want afterwards. But right now it still is like they literally tell you like when you're trying to buy the car, they literally tell you that you are not allowed to buy the car after the lease.
wow, wow. I've never heard of that before. But let me ask you something
Same here.
about Elon Musk.
Sure.
Is Elon Musk on the right or in the middle? Like I don't think he's on the left side, even though a lot of people who purchase his vehicles are most likely on the left. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's not even think. He was like he even sent like a meme. He was on the left. He was like clearly on the left. And then what happened was the left went further left than what he was comfortable with. And but he stayed exactly the same place. And
I,
now he believes himself center right instead of being center left. That's
I
what he calls himself.
Well, if I was him, right, after the leases come back, I would ship it to the people in the South, right? They get a good deal. They support Elon Musk, and his company grows instead of Budweiser. I think it's a brilliant idea. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. I don't. I have no clue what you mean. You want them to you want him to ship used Teslas to what? Red states?
To the red states, yes.
And
Yeah.
do what? Just give them away for free?
No, no, no. You don't give it away for free. I mean, you give it at the fair value or a $70 discount that he tacked.
Wait, but people there could already buy it. I don't understand.
They can't afford new Teslas.
But they could buy a used one as well. It's not like
But that's
it's
what I'm
locked
saying.
out for people in the red states.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He specifically ships out the used Teslas to the red states with a $70 discount. So the people on the left, they're paying $70 more for a brand new Tesla. And then when he ships it out to the red states, he takes off the $70. You understand what I'm saying? It's a good deal for the red states.
I, I okay. Well, for one, I think people would be really pissed off at that. For
Why?
no, for what do you mean? You're singling out red states to give them a discount that you're not giving to blue states?
The blue states don't want used Teslas, so
What?
well, they
Where are
don't.
you? Where are you getting any of this stuff from? It's like if it's a
What do you
brown
mean?
horse, it's Mexican. If it's if
No,
blue
no,
state, if
no.
the blue states don't want to
Okay.
buy them, like
I never said that. If I mean what I'm saying about the commercial, as far as like, because you don't want to show a white horse, you don't want to show a black horse. When you show a brown horse, the Mexicans are happy. That's all I'm trying. I'm not saying that the brown horse signifies that you're a Mexican. You know what I mean? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the
It
neutral.
actually sounded exactly like what I said.
No,
Just explain.
I'm saying the neutral color is brown, so
Of the
Mexicans are
horse.
happy.
Of the
Huh?
horse.
Yes,
No
so
one,
they're
no
happy.
one, no one is going like, yeah, but you're the only one who's going like, yeah, they have to be Mexican because it's a brown horse. No one's saying
Because
like,
Mexicans drink a lot of beer, so when they see the commercial, they're like, "Órale, this one's for me."
no, no, this one is literally an all-American horse. So it has nothing to do with Mexico.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, like I said, the commercial was a
Wait a
horse
second.
running through America. That's what I said.
Yes, but it's a brown horse running through
Yes, yes,
America.
but again, but no one is literally thinking of that. No one is going like,
Oh,
oh, this represents Mexicans.
wait a second.
Mexicans running through America. What are you
Wait,
talking
wait,
about?
wait. You're saying that Mexicans are not everywhere in the United States?
No, I'm saying the
Oh,
commercial is for Americans.
I see. I
So
see. Oh,
meaning, so meaning, it could be a Mexican American, but I'm saying, but if
there
you're
you go.
actually talking about, but if you're talking about Mexicans, actually Mexican people, not Mexican Americans, then
All I'm trying to say is, if I was Mexican and I love beer, which I would be proud. That's all I'm trying to say. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with.
like no, that's the same thing as saying, if like I'm white, and if I saw a white horse, I'm like, you know what? I'm proud to be a white horse.
Right?
I'm
Exactly.
like, no, of course not. No, isn't it? One has
But you
nothing to
should
do
be
with that.
proud. You
Oh,
should be
stop
proud.
it,
No, you
stop
should
it.
be proud.
Like a horse,
Okay.
a horse is not a depiction of a race. I'm sorry.
It's a
Like,
symbol.
is
It's a
it?
symbol.
It's just right. Right. It's a symbol for stupid people. It's a symbol, like meaning if the horse was white or black, and people like if one race got pissed off at the other because I can't believe they would use a black horse. I can't believe they would use a white horse.
Look,
That's
look.
just
Let me
stupidity to me.
okay. Let me explain something for a second, okay? Look, the problem here is that, in my opinion, I would do the white horse, black horse, and brown horse, but we don't have a yellow horse, okay? So I mean, you see what I'm trying to get at? Like
No,
Asians consider themselves yellow, but we don't have a yellow horse. So that's maybe the
what?
reason why. Maybe that's the reason why they could not do.
You're the only one that's trying to separate people into horse colors
No,
for
I love
whatever
you.
reason.
I love all people, but especially I'm proud of the brown horse because finally Mexicans got the recognition. You know what I mean?
No.
They do so much for the United States.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's get away from the horses.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry.
Tesla. Okay. Tesla. So basically, you think that Tesla is not going to be affected by like negatively by this, or do you think it'll be
No,
positive to them? What do you think?
no,
Does it actually have?
like I said, in my opinion, it's mostly the blue states that buy the Teslas. They don't really look at the price much. They have the money. They'll continue to pay more. They love Teslas. I see them everywhere. And especially probably in San Francisco, they
Well,
have more of them,
I
right?
mean, the thing is that the Tesla Model 3, I think, is the number one selling vehicle, or number two. It's one or the other. The Model Y is the number one selling midsize SUV. It's like the cars are selling exceptionally well still.
Right.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, good for Tesla. I don't think that it hurts Tesla. I actually think that it helps Tesla just because I really do believe that people are ignorant. You know what I mean? They're not gonna check to see. They're not gonna compare. Oh, Tesla just increased the lease by $70 as opposed to like a month ago, it was $70 less. I mean, like you're gonna have to dig for that information and
Well, sure. If you're not aware, like meaning if you're right now check the price of a Tesla and you're like, oh, it's going for $420 or something like that, the Model 3.
yeah.
You're gonna be like, oh, okay, well it's going for 420, and you basically make a decision whether you want to pay that or not. you won't know that, hey, by the way, just like a week ago it was $70 less per month. You
Yeah.
won't know that. So right, but meaning you won't even know to check for that, because that's not something you normally like no one goes to like a dealership to buy a Ford or Toyota or Mercedes and goes like, hey, what's the price right now? Okay, let me see how much was it a week ago. No, no, you'll never even consider that.
Right. Right.
So
Exactly.
I don't think it's ignorance when you aren't even aware of something like this happening. It's just like I wouldn't know it unless I was actually checking for that.
Exactly.
And
That's what I'm saying. And people don't really care to check, right? So I mean, they're just like they go on the
yeah,
web.
but
Okay.
but
All right.
honestly, but I only know because I'm in the process of buying a car, so
Yeah.
I'm looking at different cars. I'm looking at that, and I
Yeah.
was able to notice it. But
I get it. I get it. I'm just saying people won't even do that. They'll just like, okay, whatever it says, I'll buy. But the other thing about Tesla is that you can't haggle with them. It's like
no,
whatever,
yeah.
right?
Well,
So,
well, again, but that's actually a good thing as well, because they don't actually raise the price up in terms of like when it goes to a dealership.
well,
Or
I would actually disagree with you on that, okay? Because
okay.
maybe in the short term it's actually a good thing, right? But in the long term, when everybody does the same thing, yeah, it's going to be a pretty bad thing. So at the moment, I
But,
agree with
but no one else aside from literally the new companies like Lucid or something like that. But like you can't do that with GM. You can't do that with BMW, Mercedes, or any other company.
they
Like
will.
no one is okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but
okay,
they
okay.
will.
But I'm saying
They will.
like
Yeah.
you could say what will happen in the future, but I'm just saying right now there's no company that's doing that except other like uh, electric companies that started from scratch. They're able to do it, but any company that has already an existing dealerships and deals and stuff like that, like
Right.
we saw this especially during the pandemic, where dealerships that just decided, oh yeah, we're getting the car for $40,000, but we can only sell it because we don't have a lot. We're selling it for $15,000 more. You
Okay,
want to
but
buy it or not?
you'd be surprised as well that Tesla also raised their prices during that time. Now I don't know if they lowered the prices back down, but they
No, no,
actually
no, 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 no,
did.
no.
You
Hold on a
know.
second. Every company raised their prices. The
Okay.
difference, well, no, hold on a second. The reason why companies in general, including Tesla, raised it was because of the whole chip shortage. The problem is that while everybody, including Tesla, raised it, the dealerships on top of that raised the prices. So meaning if a car that let's say costed before the whole pandemic started, it's let's say was 25,000. Then let's say GM raised it to 35,000. Then by the time that gets to the dealership goes, let's raise that another $10,000. That's what I'm talking about. Where Tesla went, we're just raising it by 10,000, and that's it. We're not doing any more. There's no
Right.
other overhead on top of that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah, absolutely right. That exactly probably what happened with Tesla. But I think that this does not hurt Tesla. I think they're going to continue selling cars, and now they're going to be making more profits because of the leases. Now, I'm assuming that people are leasing more than they're buying. So, yet again, I mean, I think that they're going to generate more profits. And then on top of that, Tesla's going to start selling their cars to more rental cars, more rental
Oh,
companies.
they're definitely doing a lot of that. Hertz is like
Yeah.
they're basically changing their whole entire lineup to Tesla Model 3s.
Oh my God, we're gonna see Tesla Model 3s everywhere, like we first started seeing Uber drivers everywhere. I remember that it was horrific. It was unbelievably ridiculous to see all these signs of, oh, I'm an Uber driver. I'm like, oh my God, they're everywhere. And now I remember, well, now we're going to see a lot of Teslas on the road. But do you remember the time when Prius was really popular in like the 2000s? Like, I think it was like mid or early 2000s. Oh my God, it was just ridiculous to see them all over the place. I've never seen so many of the same car. You know what I mean? It
Well,
just,
sure, but,
yeah.
but remember this: the reason why uh, it was like the first car that gave you like ridiculous mileage on it, And I remember Bill Gates was very popular for, you have the richest man in the world at that time. This was years ago, where he came by some kind of awards show or something, and he drove a Tesla. He himself drove out, came out of there, and people were like, whoa, the richest man in the world is driving a Tesla. I was like, well, yeah, hey, that's how you protect the environment. And that blew up Tesla, and people were
Oh,
like, hey, I love the environment. I'm gonna support it by driving a Tesla. That
well,
became really big for Tesla, for sure.
and okay, so now the richest person is Elon Musk, right?
Yes. Well,
And
yes, 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 yes.
I don't know if you know this. So with Bill Gates, they were advertising the fact that, oh, look at him, he has a Prius, right?
Mhm.
And now with Elon Musk, I mean, this is kind of subtle, but I don't know if you've noticed. There's like articles being written about him and how he, has a tiny home. Yeah, he lives in a tiny home. Yeah, I'll believe it when I actually see it myself that one of the richest people in the world lives in a tiny home.
Okay, okay, okay.
You
Okay,
know,
about this, I actually, he was on Joe Rogan and he was talking about this, and then Joe Rogan afterwards talked about this, and basically what he mentioned was he got a lot of flack. He had a bunch of homes. He had like 4 or 5 homes or something in different states where he was at. Okay, or maybe even one in another country as well. And he's like, you know what? Screw this. I actually don't need the homes. It's like, you're right. Like, that's a big blueprint for me. So he got rid of all his homes and he got himself a small thing to live in.
oh,
That's how
come
I
on.
understand.
I,
Whether he's living lavishly and all that kind of stuff, he probably is. I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't even fault him for it, to be honest with you.
exactly. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. I call bullshit on that 150%. But the fact that he has to apologize for the fact that he's rich to his audience in a sense, kind of shows you how dumb people are because they're literally believe
I,
anything.
I I don't know. I don't know if he apologized. I think he felt guilty about it.
He felt guilty. So, for example, if I'm eating a steak, I'm supposed to feel guilty that somebody in another country can't afford a steak.
Some people do, yes. Some people do,
So then,
and at
so
least at
then
least at
I have.
least what he was saying is that he did feel guilty. That's basically what it is.
Okay. So then I have a message for those people that judge other people for having.
Yes, they're listening to it. Go ahead, tell them.
Yeah, please listen to me very carefully. I want you to give everything that you have and just walk around naked every single day of the week. And you know what I mean? Why don't you do that? Like, it's ridiculous. They're just a bunch of idiots.
Okay. Well, I mean, one extreme doesn't behest another extreme,
Well,
but
in
it is what it is, I guess.
my world, it does. Okay, so
Okay.
I think that Tesla, in conclusion, I think Tesla continues to do well. Obviously, they're going to lose market share to other companies, but this particular, um, you
They
know,
are. By the way,
you
I do
know,
want to stop you really quick. They are actually, and by the way, anyone that sees these articles, just know just understand them. They are losing market share. They are, like, the companies are showing like, hey, look, Tesla again is losing market share. They are, but their sales are actually increasing. It's just other cars are coming into the space, so because of that, they are losing market share, and they continue to lose market share because pretty much every other company is doing electric cars. So that will happen. It doesn't mean that their sales are slumping though. That there's a difference between the two. So go ahead.
right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. In conclusion, I think that Tesla continues to do well just the way they are. They're not going to be the top company, in my opinion, within the next 5 to 10 years, who are selling electric
Wait,
cars.
wait. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, they're not going to be. But this
Care to
doesn't
make a
hurt.
prediction which company you think will?
I mean, it could be Toyota or Honda. I really do believe that they'll probably come out with a nice fleet of cheap cars, and Tesla's not going to be able to compete against them because just the quality, control is way better. Tesla, has had a lot of issues with the Model 3, especially. So that's just my perspective. Tesla is not going to be the top company coming up very soon. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think we'll disagree on that, but I feel like Tesla probably will hold on to title at least for the next 5 or 10 years. I think probably they will hold on as the top electric car. But whether that will change after that, maybe, who knows?
All right, let's get into our last topic of the day. It's kind of interesting that Amazon comes out and warns people to buy less. And, I don't know why they actually have to come out and, make a warning. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Like, people should know how to regulate
Can
themselves.
you can you
There's something.
can you actually, by the way, sorry, but before you go on and give your opinion on it, like, can you explain a little bit, like, what what they really mean? Like, what are they referring to? Buy less of everything, or buy less of some things? Buy less water, buy less
Just
food, buy less.
no, no. No,
Buy,
no, just buy less miscellaneous stuff, electronics and other like durable, non-durable. Well, I probably say like durable goods, right? Because non-durable are food and stuff like that. That kind of makes sense, right? But nobody's like really buying food for storage unless are thinking something bad is going to happen. So it's more about the durable goods like electronics and toys and like non-essential stuff. I mean, what they're trying to say is that they're bearish on the economy. The economy is not going to do well going forward. That we're going into a recession, and people should watch out for that. And they should probably save money. In my opinion, that's kind of true. But
okay, but wait.
yeah,
Why do
go
you
ahead.
think that they're doing it though?
Exactly. Exactly. It's a weird thing for a multi. I think they're like close to like $1 trillion company. If
I
they're not, if
I think there might be over.
okay, they might be a little bit over $1 trillion company to tell people, listen, guys, don't shop as much. We're here to save you. I mean, it is a very strange statement that I don't think I've heard. Like, can you believe, like, okay, for example, Netflix comes out and says, listen, guys, the economy is not that good. You might want to, like, instead of having like one TV, I'm sorry, instead of having like two TVs that you can watch Netflix on, why don't you go ahead and downgrade to only one TV? You know what I mean? Like, it's such a weird thing to say. I don't know. That's just like weird. What do you?
Yeah, I mean, t- uh, I'm still trying to, I guess, process why a company like that would make a statement of buying less, unless they are trying to maybe appear as like, oh, we're not we're not a bad corporation. We care about you, so therefore you should spend
Uh,
less money on buying things because it'll
but
be
but
better for you.
okay, but the thing is that like who's even like necessarily like questioning whether they're a bad or a good corporation, right? I mean, they have
Well,
items.
public opinion, right?
Oh, well, then okay, fine, public of it, but most of the public is buying from them anyway, right? So it's like I don't know like if they're looking at it from like, oh, like environmentally they're not friendly or
Okay. Let's
stuff
be
like.
honest. Okay, there is no such thing as a corporation that's being nice or thoughtful or anything like that. They could display themselves as such. They could go like, hey, what we do is we give money to this nonprofit organization. We invest into this. We invest into our community and everything like that. None of it is done because this is a nice corporation. All of it is done because it's either a tax break or it's for public image. That's it. Like
Well,
companies aren't good, they're not bad. They just exist and they try to make themselves look as good as possible.
well,
Sometimes good things come out of that, but that's
but there
basically it.
but there are people behind the company who are actually running. Yeah, the company itself.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, that company is supposed to show profit. You could be
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
I love it. But if
yeah.
you're good, but if you're giving away money and they're like, and then you have the shareholders looking at it going, wait a second, you just gave away $1 billion of the money. Yeah, but it's a really good cause. Like, I don't give a shit about your cause. You're ruining
Yeah,
our company. So it's
exactly.
like, so there is no such thing as good. It's smart. That's at least in
Yeah,
my opinion. I
and
think they
and
have to be smart with their money.
and this statement is very much the opposite of that. It's a very dumb statement to make. It's like, listen, guys, why don't you just save up your money now, and then later on you guys can buy it later. It's a very weird comment to make. Um, I really do think that you're probably right. Maybe it's just to show that, look, we care about you. This is the image of the company. You might not want to buy as much as you're buying right now. You might want to save it. That's pretty much what they're trying to do, I think. So.
Yeah, I agree. I've
But
not much said.
but
Yeah, go
in general, like I really do think that people like buy too many things, right? And instead of like investing the money into something, right?
ahead.
They just spend it on something that they don't necessarily need. I mean, they might want it, but they don't necessarily need it. And yeah, but I don't agree with saving your money. I agree with like investing smart. So
That
yeah,
the last part of what you said, that's the hard part. It's the
yeah,
investing smart for everyone because people, like everyone wants a really huge, return. It's just, investing smart is the hard part though.
yes, it is. Okay, with this being the conclusion, I have one question for you. How do you find the economy today? Bullish or bearish?
Bearish, personally.
Bearish. Okay.
Yeah.
At the moment, I say bullish. Okay. With that being said, we're going to conclude today's podcast. Thank you very much, Al, for your perspective. And please, guys, subscribe, like, and share. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.